What is this channel even about? What's up, you guys? I am Britt Johnson. This is the Professional Billing Channel. I help new and growing Epic PB analysts understand Epic without the overwhelm. So the reason I started this channel is because I used to struggle so much and I felt like I had nobody to turn to. I felt embarrassed for the questions that I wanted to ask. I felt embarrassed that I, didn't know as much as the other analysts around me, never really put into perspective that they might be on a different level, a whole different chapter. They might have been doing it longer than me, but I was definitely comparing myself to other analysts. And I, for a couple years, started to get really down and depressed, and I just felt so mediocre in a job that I worked so hard to get. I worked so hard to get my Epic certification, and it was just one of those situations where I passed the exams, I got my certification, I got hired as an Epic PB analyst, and it was not anything that I expected. I don't know if it was a culture shock for me or just I don't know what it was, but it was hard. It was nothing that I expected. I was quickly overwhelmed. Again, I was comparing myself to everybody in the office. Now I'm comparing myself. I just got my certification 6 months in, and I'm upset because I don't understand, what Susie's over here doing, and she's been an analyst for 10 years. So I was so blinded, I wasn't paying attention, okay, she's on a whole different level. You just got here. I wasn't putting that into perspective, but I got so down on myself. I didn't feel like I could go to anybody with questions. I would ask questions in the beginning, and I was picking up from their energy, why is she asking this? She should know this. That's what I was feeling people were thinking about me every time I asked a question. So I stopped asking questions, and it was taking me forever to, investigate tickets and look into them and do research and resolve them and understand what is actually going on. I was very quiet in meetings. I never spoke up. I never felt like I understood anything that was going on in a meeting. When I was working in the office, going to meetings, I would sweat because I was oh my gosh, somebody could call on you. Somebody could ask you a question, and I didn't know the answers to anything. So I would just immediately panic. I hated meetings. I hated being on the phone with people, and I felt so mediocre, and I hated that feeling. And that was for years. So for years, I went into survival mode, and I was barely staying afloat. I was faking it. I was not getting better. And it got to a point where I was enough is enough. You worked so hard to get this certification. You hate the feeling that you have after you sign off at the end of every day. You feel like you're just faking it, you're floating, you're treading water. Let's maybe change that around and actually do something. And don't be so scared to show up. Don't be so afraid to ask questions. If you have to read those Galaxy documents more than once, do it. Start taking more detailed notes, start documenting everything. Slow down, take your time, and don't be afraid to reach out if you're truly stuck. But do your due diligence for yourself and do that research first before you reach out. I have caught myself reverting back to old behavior when things at work get really hectic. I will just go to somebody and ask hey, how do I do this? Instead of getting into Galaxy, because I get so overwhelmed with tickets sometimes, because these clients, they get ticket happy and they submit tickets for everything. And that gets stressful, and they're not necessarily doing it on purpose. People don't know what they don't know, right? So it's not their fault or anything, but I just get super overwhelmed, and I'm oh my gosh, this has to be resolved right now. They want this done right now. But it's I have to stop and remind myself, Brittany, you're one person. You can only do so much. You're getting a lot of tickets that, are things that you've never worked on before. You've never heard of this scenario. So it's okay that you don't know what you don't know. Slow down and take a deep breath. But I created this channel for people like me because I did not feel like I had anybody I could go to ask questions or to learn or to have as a mentor without feeling like a complete idiot. So that is why I started this channel. I want to help the new and the growing PB analysts, Epic analysts in general, and shoot, maybe even people working in like the healthcare office setting. Maybe some of the stuff that I talk about could help you benefit in your job, in that job role as well. So I'm really here as an unofficial teacher, an unofficial trainer. You know, I'm using the word trainer very lightly. I am not a certified trainer. Please don't think that. But I talk about my experiences and how I, changed up my processes, how I became stronger as an analyst, how I became more confident at work, way more confident at work, how I approach meetings, how I approach investigating and troubleshooting my tickets, and how I build client relationships and, just build that confidence up within myself to actually reach out to clients. Hey, let's get on the phone. Hey, let's do a meeting real quick. And, we can share screens and talk through this. Like, before, I was so afraid to do that because I would tell myself over and over and over, I'm not smart enough. I don't know Epic. I shouldn't be an Epic analyst. Like, I'm an idiot. Like, the negative self-talk was so bad. So that's why I created this channel. Is if you're really struggling, like, I know I've been there. I was treading water. I was getting by and not getting better. And I just got fed up with it. And I want to help other analysts, not feel so overwhelmed when they're working in Epic, not feel so overwhelmed when they're working, with those clients, and just really help you build your skill as an Epic professional billing analyst, because it is possible. And we did work very hard for that certification. So let's start feeling better about our work and more confident and secure, and just be the best analyst that we can possibly be, not compare ourselves to others, and just have that secure, satisfying feeling at the end of the day when you log off and you turn off your laptop or your computer or leave the office. That is why I created this channel for you, so you didn't have to struggle like I did. I will be here as a guide, as a resource to, reassure you that it's okay to mess up. It's okay to not know everything. And, just more importantly, just you work so hard for that certification. Let's show up for ourselves. So that is why I started this channel. So if you are one of those analysts, you're struggling, or you've been in the game for a little bit and you're really just trying to grow, this channel is for you. If you know any family members, friends, neighbors, acquaintances, whatever, that are in the Epic space, the healthcare space, and they might be struggling, this channel is for them. So please hit that subscribe button. Please turn on those notifications, and I have so much more to share with y'all. Thank you.